The one for you is the one that you have put the work in with. Social media has created the illusion of options, but you don't have as many options as you think. Seeking connection in situationships. Well, how about you ask yourself, what do I want in a relationship, or am I just bored? Yeah, it's a scam. Welcome back to the channel for another flipping banger. I feel like I've grown up now. I probably should stop saying that. Have I grown up though? No, not really. Are you still single? Scrolling through dating apps like it's a part-time job, getting ghosted so much that even Casper feels bad for you? Well, okay, let's stop there. Well, lucky for you, I read a book. And I know I should be reading my law textbooks. I know. But I gotta stay alive. I gotta stay sane. And the only way for me to stay sane is to read other things. Am I matching? I didn't even intend to match. I swear to God, I did not intend to match. The blue everywhere. So I read this book, How Not to Die Alone by Logan Ury. Let's be real, some of y'all are on track to be featured in a documentary about mysteriously single people. I'm you. You are me. We are us. Okay. Anyways, turns out, let me get serious, that most of us fall into one of three dating disasters. I'm going to be looking over here because I made some notes for the video. Number one, you believe in the one. I believe in the one. Love should be like a Disney movie. They should sweep you off your feet in a grand romantic gesture by date 2.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You're out.
Oh, he's cute.
Nope.
Newsflash, real love isn't fireworks. It's consistent, supportive. Anyways, you have too many choices and think, could I do better? Your brain is stuck in a loop like 3, you are always waiting for the right time. Once I get a 6-pack, once I get my life together.
Listen up, my friend.
Perfection is a scam. Okay? You don't need to glow up. You need to start dating today. Like right after this video. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it though. But you should. You should. Okay? Let's talk about the spark. The spark is lying to you. You know that instant chemistry? The butterflies in your stomach feeling? Yeah, it's a scam. You know when you open a Coca-Cola bottle? I don't have a Coca-Cola bottle, but I do have kombucha. Hear this? Oh God, I'm gonna make a mess. Hear that? You probably didn't hear it, but see that? How it's fizzling? That's your spark. After 2 months when you realize they don't know how to text back. Let me go get a straw. What actually matters? So in this book, she talks about what actually matters. Number 1, shared values, kindness, emotional intelligence. Number 3, the 3-date rule. In this book, she talks about the 3-date rule, and she talks about stop rejecting people too soon. If I were dating, or I was in the market of that, I probably would not like go on a first date and then be like,
Oh yeah, this person is just not for me.
Unless something goes horribly wrong on like your first date, I personally think that you should probably go for a second date, because I feel like I'm an introvert. You probably cannot tell because I'm super comfortable on camera, but I'm actually an introvert. And I feel like I probably would not do well on a first date. I'm gonna look at you like, yeah. I'm gonna look at you crazy, and the whole time, I'm gonna be thinking that you're gonna kidnap me, okay? And I feel like there's other people like that. If you're ditching people after one date because they didn't wow you, you might be missing out on a lot of great partners. Give someone 3 dates. Why? Because humans are onion creatures. We have layers. Your dream person might just be a slow burn. Be patient because good love marinates. I totally actually agree with this. Sure, love should be passionate, but like I feel like you don't want the fire and the crazy. You probably want the consistency, and you want stability. You want calm. And a lot of the time, people that are probably capable of giving you this probably not going to be as charming or great on the first date, or even second date, or even third date. I feel like even my friends it takes a really long time for me to be comfortable with someone enough to even have a personality. A lot of the time people think that I don't have a personality, but I'm a whole personality. But that's something that's really hard to see. So when I think about this in the context of dating, you need to look at other people like this as well. Then she also talked about how to actually find love. Stop messing around.
All right.
Let's fix your love life in 3 simple steps. Number 1, date intentionally. The reason I don't date is because I'm really intentional. Like, I'm a goofball, but I take my life so seriously that it doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't do anything that's not intentional. My friendships are intentional. My career is intentional. Dating is also intentional for me. So stop saying stuff like, I want to see where it goes. I don't even think I have ever thought like that a day in my life, to like see where something goes. Probably because I personally was in the same relationship since I was a teenager. So I personally, but even if I wasn't in that relationship, I definitely do think that I would never be the person that says, let's see where it goes. Like, no. How about you ask yourself, what do I want in a relationship, or am I just bored? And the reason I think this is because we're living in a generation where people are so lonely. People are looking for connection, but you're seeking connection in situationships. Why? You know that's not what you want. You know that you want meaningful relationships. So why are you putting yourself in a position where the relationships are not meaningful? Why are you doing that? Don't do that. Number 2, stop chasing sparks. Disney probably ruined my life because it made me look at love differently, almost like a fairy tale. So when I did not feel attracted to someone, or, you know, like butterflies and stuff like that, I would be like, yeah, I don't like this person. Yeah. However, I actually learned that you don't need sparks. You don't need any of that stuff. What you need is safety. Like, do I feel safe with this person? Not only that, attraction is not consistent. So if you're going to base how long you stay in a relationship based off of attraction, that's probably not a good measure, because you are a human being. You're going to be attracted to people, other people, and find other people attractive in your life, and that's fine. However, you should not go and cheat on your partner because you find someone else attractive. Or if you're not attracted to your partner anymore, attraction is not something that just stays there. You're not going to be attracted to your partner just because they're existing. There's things that you're going to have to do to keep and stay attracted to them. That's something that I did not understand, but I understand that really well now. Sparks fade, but emotional support and shared Netflix passwords, that's forever. Number 3, give people a chance. The best relationships aren't always love at first sight. Sometimes they're mild attraction after a few days. I would say, personally, it was I didn't even like this person at all. At all. Like, they weren't my type in every single way that somebody could be someone's type. Yeah. But I really love them, you know? So, yeah. Let's talk about blind spots. She talks about knowing your blind spots. I'm someone that a lot of people compliment me for being self-aware. I feel like it's great that I'm self-aware. However, this self-awareness can actually be a bad thing for me, because I overdo it. But you want to make sure that you're not on the opposite end of the spectrum. You need to know yourself. You need to know what makes you tick, what makes you upset, things you like, things you don't like, and what are you bad at? Like, what are some things that are not great about you? Because once you know your blind spots, Not only can you communicate these blind spots to someone and prepare them for what those are, whether that is something like trauma, whether that is anger issues, whether that's trust issues, those are all things that you should probably communicate with someone else. But how are you going to communicate these things with someone else if you don't even know? If you don't know that they exist, how are you going to communicate that? She also talks about attachment styles in this book. Talks about understanding your attachment style. Are you secure? Are you anxious? Are you avoidant? Because it can help you navigate your relationships better. I'm going to tell you that you should seek people that are self-aware and secure, preferably. But a lot of us are not secure. That's the truth. A lot of us work towards being secure. So if you did not have the best upbringing, you did not have secure parents and safe parents, the likelihood of you having a secure attachment style is probably low, which is fine. But this is an example of a blind spot. You need to know that. You need to know that so that you can communicate that. So somebody else knows how to deal with you. Because can you imagine dealing with somebody that's an avoidant person? They don't even know that they're an avoidant person. Yeah, no. If you realize that your attachment style is not secure, work on becoming a secure person. Because not being a secure person in a relationship can actually kind of make it hard for the other person that's in a relationship with you. Move on from me to we thinking. I remember when I was 18, 19, probably at that point, I got into a relationship with someone. Like, I was never a selfish person. However, I feel like relationships reveal parts of you that you did not know that you had. And I realized that I was actually quite selfish in a way. And I had to learn how to think not just of myself and how my actions affected me or whatever it is that I wanted to do. However, how my actions affected someone else, or how my behavior affected someone else, or how my decisions affected someone else. Because once you are in a relationship, and if you are someone that's intentional like I was or like I am, then you're obviously dating with the intention of being married to this person, right? Okay, that means you're not going to be selfish. It's not going to be just about you, what you want, when you want it, what you do, what do you want, you want to shift from your personal preferences to more unified compromise. I don't even know how to put it, in order to build healthy relationship. Because if you are someone that is so selfish, you're gonna have a hard time prioritizing the other person, being kind, providing emotional support, even growing together. Because the point of a relationship is to grow together, to teach each other. And I feel like with relationships, there's some sort of raising each other that happens. A lot of people that are not evolved enough are probably going to be like, oh, I'm not your mom, or I'm not your dad, or like, that's not my responsibility. But actually, I think that when you are in relationship with someone, even if it's your friend, you kind of have some sort of responsibility and duty, to make sure that this person's decisions and just what they do is not sabotaging themselves, right? Because you care about them. You're not going to watch someone you care about jump off a bridge, are you? Hopefully you're not. Lastly, focus on the good enough or good person, period, more than a perfect partner. Because a perfect partner does not exist. Seek someone who is a lot like you, someone that's emotionally stable, and someone that you're compatible with. Now, you're not always going to be compatible, obviously, with the person that you're with, because we change, right? And at different points in time, I'm thinking, let's say if you have been with someone since you were 17 years old, the 25-year-old version of the both of you is going to be quite different and may not even be compatible with each other. But that does not mean that the 30-year-old version of you guys will not be compatible with each other. Does that make sense? As long as your values are still aligned, you're still decent human beings. Everything else, honestly, in my opinion, is something that can grow, is something that can be worked on. Because I feel like social media has created the illusion of options, but you don't have as many options as you think. And you shouldn't even be thinking about relationships in that way. It really should not be about that, because if you're constantly thinking about, oh, I have options, or I have this, you're probably not going to be present in that relationship, and you're probably going to leave a good person, a good relationship, because you think you have options. But yeah, no. She actually also talked about the romanticizer, the maximizer, and the hesitator. I don't know. I feel like I'm all of them. Actually, no, I'm not all of them. I feel like I'm the romanticizer and the hesitator, or at least I used to be. I don't think I'm such a romanticizer anymore. Like, although I never believed in the one, but currently I do believe in the one. But I say this, and I've said this on TikTok, the one for you is the one that you have put the work in with. That's the criteria for someone to be the one for you. Okay? Yeah. Okay. If you made it this far, congratulations. You officially care about your dating life. Comment below which dating type you are. Be honest. Let's heal together. But maybe you don't need to heal. Maybe it's just me. Subscribe for more dating wisdom, which I don't really have. But I will read books, and I will let you know what I find. Because I think that these reading books can be really, really helpful, because we don't have a relationship school. We don't have anything that helps us with relationships. I never asked you to do that, but I guess you should do that. Have you guys read this book? Let me know if you actually read this book and what your takeaways from the book were. Yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Under the moonlight, your eyes shine bright. In a world so busy, you make everything right.